Okay, so we are doing learning target number 4. This is on solving systems of linear equations using the elimination method. So it's similar to substitution method where we're going to combine two equations and solve for one variable at one time, but we're eliminating the variable, okay? So you have a lot of choice in this here target. You get to choose which variable you want to eliminate. Sometimes you're going to have to use the distributive property to create the variables that need to be eliminated, only if necessary. And remember, the distributive property is when we have a number outside the parentheses and we multiply it by something inside. And today we may have to distribute it 3 times. So everything in the equation, okay? Then we are going to eliminate the terms that have opposite signs. So opposite signs are when I have a negative x with a positive x, or a positive 3y with a negative 3y. So those are opposite signs. One positive, one negative, different signs. Then the last 3 steps are very similar to substitution. We solve for the unknown variable, then we find the second unknown variable, and then we write our answer as an ordered pair, x comma y. So let's get right into this. Example 1. So we have, this is called standard form. So the equations are written when both x and y are on the same side. We're going to use the elimination method. So we look at the equation and we're going to combine them together. So negative x and negative 4x, so this is a 1. That gives us how many altogether? Good, negative 5x. Now we have negative y plus y. They're both 1s, so negative 1 plus 1, that's going to give us a 0. So these variables were eliminated. They're 0. They're gone. I bring down the equal sign, and now I have negative 7 and negative 13. I add those together, negative 20. Now I solve for x. Negative 5x equals negative 20. I can just divide. That was simple. X equals positive 4. Because of sign guide negative, divide by negative is positive. I already have half of my answer. Remember system, I have x comma y. So I already have my 4. Okay, so now we're going to substitute this into one of the 2 equations. I like to substitute it into the equation that has more positives because then I don't have to make a mistake. So in this case, it would be the bottom one. Okay, then when I rewrite it again, I'm going to take out the x and substitute in the answer I just received, which is my 4. All right, now go ahead and solve for y. So this is multiplication. So negative 16 plus y equals negative 13. I have to do my inverse here. Positive 16. Looks like I have a positive 3. Put that on up there, and I'm done with the problem. That is the elimination method. Okay, so you go ahead and try practice number 2. Find the 2 variables you're going to eliminate. If I'm adding these 2 together, looks like it's going to be which one, x or y? You're right, it's going to be x. Eliminate that. Go ahead and add everything else, or combine like terms, not necessarily adding. Combine those like terms and then solve the system for x and y. Now sometimes, like I said in the success criteria, we're going to have to use the distributive property. So here, example 2, I don't have opposite signs. I don't have anything that's the different signs. I can't eliminate right away. So I'm going to have to distribute something that's going to create the opposite signs. Well, I have a positive and a negative y here, but I can't eliminate it because it doesn't equal 0. So I'm going to have to distribute something to make it equal 0. I need these actually to be the same number. So I could distribute a 7, and then the 7s can eliminate. Or I can distribute a 2, and then this becomes 10, and then they eliminate. And actually, it'll be negative 10. It'll be a negative 2, so then the opposite signs will be a negative 10. So let me show you what that's going to look like. So we're going to distribute this 3 times. Okay? So we're going to have negative 2 times 5x is negative 10x. Negative 2 times y is going to be negative 2y. You have to distribute to all 3 terms because you have to create an equivalent equation. You can't just change one of the terms. And then lastly, negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. So I have to change the entire equation, okay? The bottom one's going to stay the same. So 10x minus 7y equals negative 18. All right, so now I've created opposite signs, and most importantly, the same number opposite signs. So I have a negative 10 and a positive 10x. So that equals 0. So I'm able to eliminate those, and that combined the like terms of everything else. Okay, so we have negative 2y and negative 7y. That's going to give us negative 9y. Bring down my equal sign. Negative 18 and negative 18. When you have the same signs, you add. So that's going to give me negative 36. Good. Now I just have a one-step equation. Go ahead and divide by negative 9 on both sides. Use sign guide. Y equals positive 4. Oh, I forgot to write my ordered pair. So this one, be careful, it's the y. I'll put that in the y spot. Okay? Now, when I substitute this y back in, it must be into one of the original equations. Don't use the new equation we created. Go back to one of the original equations, okay? Again, I like to use the one with the most positives so I make less mistakes. All right, so now I'm going to rewrite it, and instead of y, I'm going to put my 4. Go ahead and solve. This is a 2-step equation. I need x by itself, so I need to do the inverse of the 4 and subtract. This eliminates. 9 minus 4. Excellent. Divide both sides by 5. X equals 1. And we have our ordered pair. 1, 4. Okay? So that just took an extra new step, but then the rest is all the same. So there's one more practice problem down here. Do we have opposite signs we can eliminate? No, in this case we don't. They're actually the same sign. So what we want to do, again, is distribute something that's going to create an opposite sign. So we got 2 options again. You can choose. I can make both of these 4, so multiply the top one by 2, but again, they're going to be the same sign. So it has to be a negative 2, or I can change these signs and multiply by a negative 1. That could help. Let's go ahead and do that. So negative 1. And distribute again to all 3 of the terms. You have to do all 3. Can't change. You can't leave anything out because then that'll mess up your equation. Okay, so negative 1 times negative 2x. Good, positive 2x. Negative 1 times negative 9y. Good, make sure you put your signs. And negative 1 times negative 25. Positive 25. Second equation stays the same. We didn't change that one. Sometimes we will. Sometimes we have to change both. All right, combine the like terms. So we have our -2 and our positive 2 and our negative 4x. So that's negative 2x. We have our positive 9, our negative y. We're going to eliminate that. And our positive 25 and our negative 23 subtract. Excellent. Now it's just one step. Awesome. Got half of the problem. Negatives are very important. That causes us to get wrong answers if we're not careful. When we substitute this back in, remember to substitute it back into one of the original equations. Both of these have all these negatives, so it doesn't matter much. Let's see, I chose this one. Okay, so we're going to substitute the x in for the -1 for x. I'm going to let you go ahead and finish that one by yourself. And yeah, that is the notes for learning target number 4, solving by the elimination method. Good luck. Email me if you have any questions.